Okay. All right, guys. What's up? Good evening or good night. What's up, guys? How y'all feeling today? All right. Make sure the are set. Okay. So I'm very favored of Yah to come back tonight on the first night, comedy called Sunday night, and had a had a long week. So looking forward to doing some service tonight, baby. We'll speak on some very important things on tonight. And if I were you guys, I will probably write some notes now. Just keep watching the video, study. Part seven, identity crisis, is going to be very huge. The reason why I say that is because many people could or could not be aware of the mind. We'll deal with that. Okay, identity crisis can affect your mindset. It can affect what you think. It can affect what you put in your mind, and you can never leave it. And so I'm not talking about food or normal living or righteousness. No, I'm not talking about that. And I probably said it the wrong way. So let me repeat myself. What contaminated things you put in your head? There we go. So, and I'm not trying to judge anybody negatively. Please do not take it that way. Okay? Some young people think, oh, you judging. Oh, you making me feel crappy or no. Because the purpose of me getting here in this YouTube is to give you information. Okay? To serve. It's part of love. I can't change you. I can just be the messenger, right? So, okay, guys, keep that in mind for those who look this video later on, and much more, right? So, this is about educational purposes to show you beware of fire, y'all, if that makes sense, right? Beware of fire, or really this, hey, let me tell you something of what I've been learning, okay, from the sake of Yah, commonly called God. Okay, so I want to name just a couple of things, and I think I said this last time, I think it was a few days or whatever ago. Because I know I got on the book of Job. You remember, guys, he was dealing with identity crisis with his so-called friends, right? We dealt with that. Yahuwah was upset, right? And he dealt with his so-called three friends, right? And notice I said so-called, okay? Because those really wasn't his friends until later on. Yahuwah dealt with them of the identity crisis of the false mind, okay? Then I kind of got on Dinah. So we'll get on that. We're going to get on church. Yep, we're going to get on religion, okay? yeah, yeah, we're gonna get on that tonight. We're going to get on religion, guys. Man, we're gonna get on pastors. Okay, I can't get on that because this is part of the reason why identity is so messed up. Because when we listen to something, our brain receives it, right? So when we receive bad things and we believe it, it affects our behavior. Okay, it affects the behavior, and then affects your heart, your emotions. It affects your mentality. It affects your psychological thinking. We're going to talk about abuse. Okay, that's also part of the anti-crisis. If I have time. Okay, like brother, what do you mean abuse? Oh, simple. Being emotionally abused, a lot. The anti-crisis. Living as the abused victim. Okay, we'll deal with that if I have time. But primarily, we'll deal with religion. We're going to deal with Dinah, of her being forceful. I think she was forcefully raped by a man that had an anti-crisis problem. Okay, and this is like that today's time. Okay, where we have men, they will force themselves to these women, manipulate them, and to charm them. How many y'all women go through that? I'm quite sure. You could be going to the grocery store. Think about this for a minute. You can go to the grocery store, go to a freaking arcade room, whatever, right? You mind your own business, and you listen. You are the one that's in a relationship. Okay, it could be a guy. He could just look at you. He could just say these sweet words to you that you miss hearing from your own man that you with. And some of y'all women, y'all get involved, getting trapped up with that because of the spirit of lust, the identity Christ from the man. And some of y'all women, y'all listen to it and y'all mess around and got affected. Okay. And then it turned out to be a bad result. All right. So we're gonna get on some we'll get on some stuff tonight, y'all. So um get ready because this is no joke. This is nothing to play around. And this is a warning. I do understand I don't have a lot of people viewing my channel, and that's okay. I listen. If it happens, happens. Not. Listen, I'm here to serve and to speak the information that's supposed to do as men. We're supposed to speak the information, man. We're supposed to speak the truth, right? Because if we don't do it, then how can y'all know how to come to the Most High, right? How would you know? So you got to listen, okay? I'm going to pray. Y'all, we just want to give you honor and praise tonight. Thank you for strength that you have given me. Even though it's been a long week, my job, especially last week, and just asking you to just let peace reign upon us on tonight. Appreciate you. And y'all, I'm asking that you let this word become correctly spoken with no confusion, no compromising, no opinions, no self-interpretation. But to speak of the word is and defining it with accuracy. Y'all, may you be esteemed. We appreciate you so much. And those who are watching the future, we actually affect them the same for them to come near you, to have shalom or peace, for them to repent of their sins, for them to learn your word, learn your commandments. Because that's what it's all about. We understand your commandments is the truth, y'all. The Torah is the truth. Or commandments is the truth. It's proclaimed that in Psalms 119, verse 142. And so, y'all, we thank you so much for this word on tonight. And may be esteemed, hallelujah. We give you honor and praise forever, O Most High. So be it. All right. I feel like reading one psalm for tonight because I am like really, really desperate to get onto this. Y'all. Okay. So we're going to get on to Psalms 100. We're going to get on that. All right. That's right. Hey. All right. Shalom. All right. So Psalms 100. Right. We're going to go there. And then after that, we're going to deal with Dinah. So remember, she was the daughter of, I think, Jacob, not mistaken. We're going to go to her life, okay, and we're going to apply that of women being used, being emotionally abused, being raped, okay, and they turn out to identity crisis as well. Hello, so get on that. We'll get on we'll get on religion. Might not have time to deal with the other things I said earlier. That's what there's our parts. So we'll see. Okay, so let's get on that. Psalms 100. Okay. All right. So, and by the way, I know this is part 7. I don't know how many parts this will be, but man, I'm just grateful for the parts that's coming in, and just just been studying. All right. Okay. Now, let's see there in the Psalms. Forgive me, because mind you, my scriptures have more than 66 books. Okay. So can y'all just bear with me? All right. All right. Let's see here. Probably got to go to the. All right. There we go. Okay. So Psalms 100 says this. Posted already. All right. So it said, make a joyful noise and to the Most High, all you lands. Serve Yah with gladness, come before his presence with singing. Know you that Yah is good. He is the same. Okay. It is he that created us, not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter to his gates with thanksgiving, to his courts with praise. Be thankful to him and favor his name, for the Most High is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endures to all generations. Thank you, Yahweh, for that. Hallelujah. Okay. And let's go with Dinah. Let's see. Let's go with Dinah. And I think that is I think that's the Genesis. So we're gonna start from there. Yeah, we're gonna start from there. I haven't read Genesis in a while. Okay. Okay. So Genesis. Alrighty. Okay, there we go. So I was correct. So we're going to go to Genesis 34. Okay, this is very important to understand this. So prayerfully, those who are watching, you guys can understand. Remember, we're dealing with identity crisis. So it says in verse 1, and Danah, and by the way, keep in mind, in Hebrew is Duna, okay? Or Daina, which means judgment. Okay, judgment. Keep that in mind. Okay. The daughter of Leah, okay, or her mother Leah or Leah, okay, which she bore into Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. Okay, now, and when Shechem, okay, or Shechem, the son of Hamor, Chayah, the prince of country, saw her, okay, he took her. He took her. Now, I have to stop right now. Okay, look at that. Look, the man don't even know her, right? That reminds me of today's time, fellas. Have y'all women ever been snatched or kidnapped by a man that you don't know? I told you earlier, this is nothing to play with. This is no joke. I'm going to get hard with this one. She was snatched by a man that she barely know. Okay? That's why y'all females, listen, and this is a little beside the subject. Be careful when you go outside, man. Be very careful with that. Now, I'm going to say, oh, well, oh, he being controlled. No, I'm not being controlling. It's about being protective. Because people with identity crisis are hunters. Now, I'm talking about the men. Men hunt. They will hunt after you. They will hunt when they smell innocence on you, baby. When they will smell, they will get you. Identity crisis like zombies, y'all. Okay? So now, mind you, she did nothing wrong here in this chapter. I'm going to read this part again. Look. So again, verse 2 says, chapter 34 in Genesis, and when Shechem, the son of Hamor, Chayah, prince of the country, saw her and he took her. I mean, he freaking talked his way into taking her. And listen, there's no telling if she went ahead and lied. I agree, but I doubt she did. He probably had this force, this beauty, because see, this is like today's time. This is like when men look so beautiful, y'all wouldn't feel forced to be with that particular man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You could be married, you could be in a relationship with some guy, and you don't care. You're looking at that other guy, right? Because he smelled good. He smells so good. Or you may have a nice home, and so you want to get to know him, but you have a man already. Come on, guys, be careful with that. I get it. Be careful with male friends. Now, y'all women may think I'm crazy saying that, but no, seriously, okay? Because this type male friends today, y'all, come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. I gotta speak further than that definition. But anyway, she was kidnapped. She was taken, because here it says it. He took her and lay with her. Okay? Laid with her. Laid. That means having sex, y'all. That means sleeping with. Okay? Just like Genesis chapter 25, verse 2, Abraham, the former prophet, slept with his second woman, Keturah. So it says lay with her. So he forced himself, he forced his soul into her soul, y'all. All right, brother, what are you talking about? Well, when you sleep with the wrong man, you are taking his soul and you are taking his DNA inside of your vagina. Are you getting it? It's called metamorphosis. So when you take him, when you make love, when you allow him to rape you, or you allow him to have sex and you enjoy that time, you are taking his DNA and now you act like his character. Hello. That's why some women have identity crisis from this sexuality. Okay, they act like men because women been slept with some few men or many men. Okay, real talk, y'all. I'm not making this up. You gotta be careful, women. Be careful when you open your legs to, because you can receive the identity crisis of DNA from that man, and now you're part of it. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Anyway, let's continue. So you notice it says, and defiled her. Okay, so defile can mean make dirty. It means to make you unset apart. Some people use the word unholy, but really in Hebrew is unset apart or akadush. No kadush, set apart, kadush. But in this scenario, he calls her to become affected by his DNA. He lied with her with no condom, guys. We know condoms didn't exist at the time. Okay? He forced himself. Remember that. Defiled her. Let's continue. And his soul cleaved. Cleaved or clave means a covenant. I don't think y'all listening. I could end the video right now. Did y'all get what that was about? This? When you are dealing with somebody like that, it's like you're opening up a portal of trouble to become either a future single mom or a slave into the sins of that man. When you receive his DNA, remember the semen is very, very important piece for the man when it comes inside of you, y'all. It's very important. That's why I said he clave to her, clave. Okay, because sex can create that covenant. It can create it with no condom, right? And so you can receive the DNA from that person. Now y'all see why I said earlier, stop trying to have male friends. Just stop that. Yeah, stop. It's not healthy. Not healthy. Because the man look at your woman, be like, damn, she look great. He might think that in his head, right? And he ready to spread his DNA into your woman so she can have identity crisis like him, your so-called friend. Be really careful with this stuff. Man, look, slide with her, clave to the woman like that's really supposed to be his, this woman from Yahuwah. Now, mind you, she don't know him. Let's continue to read. And his soul clave died, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel. Y'all know what damsel mean? Damsel mean an uncovenant woman, a woman that have not start be with the man yet. This one was a freaking virgin, y'all. Keep that in mind. She was a virgin women. Y'all be careful. Stop trying to be all prideful to go ahead and get your first sex. Stop with that bull. Stop. Enjoy your virginity. Wait until you have the man of Yah come to you. Or let your father teach you how to get one, how to let him find you. Man, this is already getting deep. I'm telling you, man. Deep. Okay? Identity crisis, y'all. Identity crisis, man. There's nothing to play with. Okay? So he spoke kindly to the woman. Verse 3. Y'all women love hearing that kind of words from these men, don't y'all? Because mind you, identity Christ for men, they like to smooth talk you, baby. They love to smooth talk you. Real good. It's like manipulation. They trying to get for what they want out of you. And then they leave you. Not all men, but some of them. It's like enjoying the pie without saying thank you to your neighbor. Think about it. Okay. Verse 4, as Shechem spoke unto his father, Hamor said, give me this damn to be my woman. What they're saying is he want her to live identity crisis and he want her to be pagan. I'm preaching, y'all. Woo! Why did I say pagan? The man don't follow Yah. When you don't follow Yah, you fall in paganism. Like Christmas. Come on. Walk with me here. Walk with me. Christmas. Right? Easter. All these holidays to get you involved in that. It's like real life. Same thing. And some of y'all men on the opposite. Y'all do that too. Y'all can be seeing a pretty lady. You could be into Yahuwah. You could be into living right. And you see a fine ass woman. Right? And you just completely forgot about Yah's commandments. And you decide to be with her, but she's pagan. You slept with this woman. You got, let's say, 2 children. You get the identity crisis in you. Now judgment's coming your way, but you got to pay child support because she'll leave you because you continuously follow Yahuwah and you regretted that you've been with her. You confessed. Y'all know what I'm talking about, men. Men, be careful as well. Okay? Stop. It's not worth it. Same thing. So, let's continue. Okay, so he wanted to start this continuation of covenant with this woman. Okay. Give me down to my woman, verse 5. And Jacob heard, now go to father now. Jacob heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah. Remember, Dinah means judgment. Keep that in mind now. Now his sons were with the cattle in the field, and it was Jacob held his peace till they would come. Verse 6, and Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out into Jacob to commune with him, to conversate with him, right? Verse 7, and the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were very upset. They were grieved. They were pissed because their virgin daughter were taken. Hello. Okay, her virginity was stolen by a false man. Think about this. It's like just like today's time. And that's why we're telling people, listen, before you be with the virgin, you got to have a clean spirit. But the problem with today's time, a lot of men don't have a pure mindset. They just want to be with the woman because she looked good. Listen, she looked good. The man has a good paying job. The man can work at Popeyes. Either way, he can might have a little car, a little apartment. Okay, that's cool. Listen, that's cool. He has his own place. But the problem is most men do not teach these women. I'm preaching. And that's a big problem right there. They don't want to teach the woman, especially when she's a virgin. So she's already in death's door, spiritually speaking. And this story reminds me of that. He wants to start this life with her, but he don't love Yah. He don't love the Most High. So Dinah here is in the situation, trouble. Okay, chaos is going to start. Let's continue to read. Okay, so we reread verse 7. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, right? They were very upset. Very upset. I don't blame her brothers. I do not blame her brothers. And mind you, her brothers are set apart, right? Because he had worked in foolishness, okay? And Joshua aligned with Jacob's daughter. And mind y'all, they were about to being set apart. See that? And this brother did things backwards. He had sex with her first, and they want to start a life with her. That's not right, y'all. Come on, man. That's like real life drama. Okay, you get to sleep with the woman. And then you want to later on marry her in the system and all this nonsense. This is why we have relationships that is defiled and that a lot of relationships are failing because most men and some women they want to have sex first. They want to rape you out of your identity. Hello, right? And then they want to talk to the parent or set up a marriage and all this nonsense. It's completely all chaotic. Remember, identity crisis is very disorderly. It's very, very disorderly. Okay, not good at all. Okay, so here it says Raphael, verse 7, and Yashrael in line with Jacob's daughter, and which thing are not to be done. Verse 8, Kamor, excuse me, communicated with them, saying, the soul of my son, belongs for your daughter. So this is the father speaking here. The father know what he's up to. All right, this is okay. So, um, longs for your daughter. I pray you give her to be his woman. Now, the funny thing is, it's already his woman already. He already screwed her. That's completely in vain. But he wanted her to be married, probably in the system. Maybe it could be the case here. Wanted her to be, you know, screwed. So here, verse 9, make you marriages with us and give your daughters unto us and take our daughters unto you. Look at that. That is a false ceremony. So he wanted the nation, Jacob's daughter including that, to trade, to get married and, intertwine, if you will, to come together as one in these different relationships, y'all. Ain't that something? Yeah. So they try to sprinkle it with this righteousness, but actually, that won't work out like that. So let's continue to read, right? Um, man. So verse 10, and you should dwell with us, and the land should be before you, and dwell and trade therein, and get your possessions therein. And Shechem said to her father, um, and her brother, let me find favor in your eyes, and what shall say to me, I will give. Ask me never so much dowry and gift. Okay, so dowry can be money, dowry can be a letter, okay, like stuff like that. All right. And I will give according as you shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to be my woman. And the sons of Jacob answered Sichem and said, um, Sichem and father deceitfully and said, because he had defiled Dinah their sister, and he said, so we can't do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were reproach unto us. Okay, so uncircumcised mean having your penis cut, the flesh that covers the top of the penis, which represents set apart. Okay, that's what part of that means. Okay, verse 15. But in this we will consent or agree with you. Okay, if you will be as we be, and every male you be circumcised. Okay, so it's interesting. He wanted to make this deal. It's a little compromising, but then again, I wouldn't agree with it. Because in the scripture says in Proverbs 1 verse 10, it says, if sinners entice you, do not consent, do not agree. Okay, so but he said, hey, listen, I'm not going to do this until you be like us, meaning, hey, you have to follow Yahuwah and repent. Okay, but did this go well? I don't. Maybe not. We have to see, right? And you read that male you circumcised, verse 16. Then we will give our daughters unto you, and we will take our daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we become one people. Right? Sounds cool. But let's continue. But if you would not hearken or listen to us be circumcised, then we will take our daughter and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor, and should shall come Hamar's son. And the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Cush's daughter. Okay, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came into the gate of the city and communed with the men of their city, saying, "These men are peaceable with us. Therefore, let them stay or dwell in the land and trade therein. The land, behold, is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for women, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent or agree, and to us for to dwell with us, or to stay with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised, as our circumcised shall not their cattle and their substance, every beast of theirs be ours. Only let us consent or agree unto them, and they would dwell or stay with us." And in verse 24, and it took Hamor and to Shechem his son, hearken all that went out of the gate of the city. And every man was circumcised, and all that went out of the gate of the city. That sounds great, but were there chaos? Let's continue. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that the two of the sons of Yakub, Shimeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword and came upon the city boldly and slew all the males. Bingo! So there was no peace. And again, I do not blame those two brothers. But remember, Dinah means judgment. And I tell you one thing, her name showed expressed in the manifest of the world, didn't it? It did. Because they were kicking their behinds. They wasn't having that. And see, the point of reading this as well is that as you have identity crisis, you could get yourself a lot of trouble because how can I say this? So there's a movie called Menace to Society, right? And I remember Kane was interested in this man's cousin, which was a female. Now, obviously, Kane had identity crisis. The man was a gangbanger, you name it. He was a murderer, and he slept with that man's woman, like the man's cousin, female, right? And look what happened to him. He got murdered at the end of the movie. Come on. See that? Perfect example, like with this story right here. Her two brothers lost it, and guess what? I don't really blame them. I don't blame what they did. Because look, they slew people, verse 26. Well, he killed those people. Verse 26, and they killed Kimor, so they killed the father, yo. They killed the father, right? Shechem, his son, with the edge of the sword, he got killed and took Dinah out of the Shechem house and went out. That's why y'all brothers, I get it. Y'all might have identity crisis problem, but y'all need to stop using these virgin women because you never know. The father of those daughters might come after you. Okay, they're gonna come after you. Okay, especially when you sleep with them and now you got them pregnant. Now you're leaving them. Some father would come after y'all, kill y'all, man. Will break your freaking head off. Okay, be careful, y'all, when y'all treat these women, these virgin women, like they're nothing. Stop using them for sex. Because this story here reminds me of that. Okay, but even though he wanted Dinah to be like him, he wanted he wanted her to be like him. Just even though they got circumcised, but her two brothers did not believe that. And again, this reminds me of today's time. Okay, that's why we have to be careful dealing with people like that because it can cost you a lot of issues, a lot of drama. It causes your life to be shortened. Okay, let's prove that real quick. Let's go to Proverbs 10:27. All right, so again, we gotta be real, 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 real careful with people like this. It's very, very dangerous. That's why we're telling people you want to ask questions before you want to get a relationship with somebody. You want to be a friend with somebody, man. You want to ask questions, see what they're about, because y'all don't want to have this is to tell y'all not to be in the wrong trap. Okay, y'all don't want to be in the wrong trap. Well, let's go to Proverbs 10:27. Okay. I wanna read a few things and then want to go on to Jeremiah. Okay, to a little bit about religion, y'all. Yes, religion is a false identity of the mind. It is. Yes, every, every religion, every religion. Okay, so it says, the fear of Yahuwah make your days longer, right? So prolong your days, prolong your life. But then it says, but the years of the wicked shall be short. So the reason I'm reading this because this reminds me of what I read earlier in Genesis Genesis chapter 34. Okay, where Shechem was wicked, he had an antichrist problem, and he wanted to defile, and he did. He got what he wanted. Come on, y'all. The man got what he wanted. Yeah, he wanted to take her seriously, but then it wasn't going to work. Okay, it's not going to work. And then I want to go to another related to the subject and the story. Here it says, let me see. I think I'm on the way here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Um, Proverbs 12 and 13. Look what this says. The wicked is trapped or snared by the sins or transgressions of his or her lips. So remember earlier, Shechem took her, right, had sex and everything. And then he was speaking transgressional things. He wanted her to be married, right, probably in the system, and all this nonsense. And they wasn't having it, and it cost his life. You get it? It cost the man's life. The man should have took his time, get to know her before he started the relationship with her, and get to know Yahuwah from Jacob or from his sons. That's common sense. Okay? That's common sense, but he didn't do that. He had identity crisis. Okay? Real talk, man. Real talk. Okay? And it says, but the just shall come out of trouble. Okay? And let's go to Proverbs 12:15. Look at this. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkens to counsel is wise. See that? He thought he was right in his own beliefs. And don't tell this man was probably religious, right? He felt like he could just grab any woman and do what he wants, and you know start this marriage ceremony, covenantal thing, whatever. And that's not going to work here. Yahuwah does not condone that. Okay, he doesn't condone that. Okay, let's stay in Proverbs. Okay, um, then over here it says, let's see, Proverbs 15, verse 29. Okay, Yah is far from the wicked. There go another example. He's far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. Okay, so we know that Yahuwah was not with Shechem at all. Yahuwah was not with Hamor, his father, and the people of their land at all. That's why they all got killed. Okay, pretty much they have to serve judgment. Okay, that's why I said again, y'all brothers, please be careful of how y'all treat these women, especially virgins. I'm gonna throw in widows too, especially widows. Women that have been left by their man, treat these women good, y'all. But again, people don't want to do that because of identity crisis. They get what they want and they leave on. Okay, because people with identity crisis, they like pleasure. They love pleasure. They don't care about the importance. They love pleasure. That is their problem. They love it. It feels good. They never satiable or never satisfied, right? Especially when it comes to fornication, sexuality. Okay, that's a problem. Okay. Um, let's go to a couple more here. Proverbs 17 and 4. Look at this. A wicked door gives care to false lips, and a liar gives ear to a naughty tongue. That reminds me of the chapter I read. See that? A wicked door gives care to his son. He wanted to take Dinah. It was all foolish, right? Think about it. He wanted to start this ceremony, the marriage, whatever, and they all want to do all that in a disorderly fashion. So he was giving heed and care to his son, what he wants. He gave it to him, but it cost their lives over that. Okay, not good. All right. So I'll do one more. All right. Um, excuse me. Sorry. And we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18. It says, "Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." So we know that he had pride in his heart. Come on, the guy grabbed her, man. Come on. He grabbed her, okay, and didn't care. All right, so that's pride. That is carelessness. He wasn't prudent or careful. He did what he wanted to do to make himself feel good. But he took that as advantage to start this whole thing, ceremonial relationship thing with this woman. Not good. All right. So we got that part. I'm going to go to Jeremiah 51 to do a little bit of that. Um, definitely is going to be a part 8. Let's see here. Give me a second. Just save this spot here. So I know I said earlier that we're going to deal with religion and beliefs, the mind. Because remember, it mess up your mind. Any crisis can mess up your mind. Of what you've been taught, what you have fed into your mind, or what you heard. So we're going to get on that a little bit tonight, God willing. Okay, we're almost 50 minutes in. Perfect. All right, so let's get on that. Jeremiah. Okay, so Jeremiah chapter 51. Okay, and keep in mind, this is going to be very challenging for y'all to maybe comprehend this. I'm going to go very light with this one the best I can. And keep in mind, when I read that, this is a relation with Jasher, with Nimrod, and Babylon, right? You probably forgot, but don't worry. Nimrod was the first governor. Nimrod was the first religious leader. Nimrod was the first, I guess you want to say, like a leader of the world. He had power, okay? And he was a great influencer of people to sin, okay? So we're going to go here. We're going to go right into Jeremiah 51. A little bit of that. It says, "Thus says Yahweh, I will raise up Babel against them that dwell in the midst of them." Okay. And that rise against me, destroying wind, a destroying wind. So let me stop you real quick. First of all, when it's about a wind, it's about destruction, judgment, like a figure of speech. Okay. Um, he raised up against Babel. It's a nation, it's a country, it is a pagan land that people learn paganism from. Okay, religion, especially Christianity. I'm gonna get on that deep tone tonight. Okay, like star worship, sun worship, moon worship. Remember, Nimrod was the first one. He was the first leader that started religion. Okay, he was the first one. Nimrod. That's where we get the pagan holidays from. If I were you guys, I'd do research on more of Nimrod, research of where things came from of Nimrod, according to pagan holidays. Okay, so Yah is not filling Babylon. Yahuwah is not filling the system. Okay, verse 2, "And I will send into Babel fanners, and shall fan her." Now you notice it says her. So what it's about her is talking about the religious system, which today's time is related to America. Okay, It was also relating to Britain. They have a lot of religions. Come on, right? But America is primarily the first. That's important. Okay, which connect to Egypt of religious creation, all the way from Babylon. Think about it. Okay, Nimrod. It's like a cancer spread in your body, right? Things where people were learning from each other, and it was starting to spread it was just spreading all over the freaking world, and people started to believe it, right? Because it seemed interesting, it seemed prideful, it seemed like holy moly, right? Like, oh man, right? And so people listen to these doctrines and they believe a man or whatever, a God, a deity of the Son is the Savior, all this nonsense. Oh my goodness. Woo! Right? Babylon is connected to the whole situation. Okay. Um, Kind of reminds me of the Vatican. Okay. Because the Vatican is like a Babylonian system. Okay. And they have nothing but a lot of religions, especially Catholicism, Christianity, created in the Vatican with the pagan worship, the cross, and all that was for another time, but not tonight. Okay, so her and shall empty her land for the day of evil, and they should be against her round about. Okay, against him that bends, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifts himself up in his bridge brigand line. Excuse me, and spare you not her young men, destroy you utterly all her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of Casadum, and they that are thrust through in her streets. Okay, so you notice in my streets and hosts, those are some of people that are religious, and streets is based on institutions. I'm gonna stop right here and go to Ezekiel chapter 16, right? Come here, we're dealing with religion, dealing with the brain, right? The building, the structure, the teaching, all this nonsense, right? Okay, the origin. Okay, we have to. That's why I tell people we have to read the word. Look at what y'all want us to do, right? To live. Okay, to live. Because even pastors is like part of the hosts of religions, different, all types of different religions, priests, you can name it, right? All this. Okay, it's all a lie. Okay, so here, go right to Ezekiel chapter 16, or Yakaskal chapter 16, right? Let's go there. Yeah, I don't want to go too much in that, but there's more to come with this one. Okay, so here it says this, okay? Um, Make sure I got it right. All right, so actually, I'm going to start in verse 22. And all your abominations, so the word abomination, that just means very detestable, very disgusting, very unacceptable, right? Um, all your abominations, your whoredom is idol worship, guys. This is spiritually speaking, idol worship. So keep that in mind, because remember, identity crisis people, they like to worship idols. They love titles of religion. Yes, they do. Okay, not making this up. Remember, I'm moving between identity crisis. Remember, identity crisis. 'Cause I think I said in part one. Okay, we were created to be like Yah. We were created to worship Yah. That's our true identity. But when things were starting to happen to Earth, man, and we got affected by it, we lost our identity. We really did. Now we have to work our ways back to listen and to learn and to study. Right. So here it says, um, okay, whoredoms, you have not remembered the days of your youth. What is that talking about? the time when they heard the truth. Hello, okay, youth, okay. Back then, they knew and they forgot. Says here, when you were naked and bare, that's remember this is spiritual. These are parables. Naked and bare. That's just saying that they were stripped. Our forefathers were stripped of following a different deity. They lost their favors. There are plenty of stories about that. Oh boy, like Exodus chapter 32. I think that's chapter when they worshiped the golden calf. They were stripped against power, and some of them got destroyed by Yahuwah through an earthquake. Okay, they lost protection. They lost the covering of Yahuwah. Okay, because mind you, identity crisis don't care. They don't really care what Yah gives you. They don't care, right? They care about the fleshy things of the world. Okay, when you were naked and bare and were polluted in your blood, verse 22, verse 23 now, and it came to pass after all your wickedness, woe to you, says the Most High, verse 24, that you have also built unto you an eminent place. Eminent means very beautiful. Keep that in mind. And have made you a high place in every street. A high place can be called a grove, a temple, a church, a synagogue, a mosque. Did y'all know that? It says every street corner. What do you see in the street corners? Churches. And this can relate to what I read earlier in Jeremiah 51. So I restored Babylon, the ways of Babylon. Remember, Babylon is the religions of all. It's the beginner. Okay, it's origin all religions, guys. Idol worship. Think about it. So people identity crisis, they like to see beautiful things. Even it's evil, they don't care about it. Even have a teacher, they're going to go for it. They don't give a damn. They're going to go for it because their mind is never satisfied of sin. They're going to keep doing what they want to please themselves. Boy, y'all hear what I'm saying? That's why Yahuwah ain't feeling this. He want us to learn his Torah, his commandments, man. That's life itself. That's life in the law, right? Oh, this is just the beginning. Listen, there's a lot to cover this, a lot. So here it says, verse 25, you have built your high place every head of the way, and you have made your beauty to be abhorred, and have opened your feet to everyone that passed by, and multiply your whoredoms. Don't that sound like the churches? Come on, man. Come on. Think about what they're saying. Think about what they're saying. Okay? The key words is this: whoredom. Pass by. Don't be passed by churches, yes, or institutions. Whatever, yes. Multiply, right? So the synagogues, mosques, all of that have multiplication of different gods or the same one. Statues and figurines. People like seeing that. People worship that stuff. And now y'all see why I was telling you earlier about y'all women is to be careful who you make love to, man. Be careful receiving who's semen. Don't. You be just like them, part of Babylonian worship. False deity worship, y'all. Idol worship. Okay? You don't want to go through that. Okay, but anyway, it's something there an hour, and I'm going to be laying down. We want to finish with this off. Continue on with Jeremiah next time, y'all. Okay, shalom. Take it easy.